Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to a NerdTube review of the newest, hottest game out there right now, Horizon Forbidden West. I am joined by two gamer geeks like myself. DH, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Looking forward to reviewing Horizon Forbidden West. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And the Block.
I'm doing super duper as always.
So little bit of preface on here. DH has beaten the game. I have not beaten the game, and Block has yet to play the game, but he has played the first game. So we've got all different perspectives in here. And you know what? That's fine. We're not talking spoiler. We're not talking hardcore spoilers. Like we're going to talk about game mechanics. We're going to talk about imagery, all these other things in the game. But we're not going to talk about like how Aloy, decides to jump off a bridge in the middle of the game, and then you take over and you play as one of the other characters. No, I'm kidding. Oh.
Yeah, don't crucify us.
Don't
Don't crucify us. Yep.
So, all right. Also in this, I'll have a little bit of footage from my gaming channel, Milquetoast Gaming, where I am currently playing this game on here. If you want to take a look at it in the link, that is a shameless self plug, and I'm all here for it. But anyway, guys, all right, so let's jump into it. DH, you are our most experienced. Give us your thoughts on Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm going to go ahead and say right now I have this on PlayStation 5. Visually, this is the best looking game I think I have seen this generation in quite some time, since at least Red Dead Redemption. It's like the scenery. It's like you're looking out at like the mountains. You're looking out at grass. You're looking out at flowers. And you're just so immersed in this world. And as most of you know, the first game takes place around like Colorado, Wyoming, Utah. This game takes place in more like California and, further out west. And it's just an amazing, beautiful game. Like visually, it's the best I've seen.
I do have to agree with you. I mean, I've played the game a little bit. I'm about 10 hours in.
Yeah.
So but I know this game is definitely beautiful and the imagery is stunning. DH, have you ever played Ghost of Tsushima yet?
Yes, I have that. I need to get back to that game. I've heard it.
I mean, I have to say, like, I'm not saying that for Horizon's not a beautiful game. It is. There's a lot of imagery in there that I'm like, holy shit.
But Ghost of Tsushima too has that same level of like, oh my god. Like you look at it and you're just like, this is an amazing game. You could just tell with all the scenery in it.
Yeah. Block, you've played the first game. So, I mean, kind of, what are your thoughts? Like, because we'll bring some of this footage in now, so you can kind of see some of the visuals. Now, unfortunately, this is on a PS4. I have not been able to get my hands on a PS5 yet because I'm a chump and I don't want to pay $1,000 for one still. But so I mean, we don't have to. We can keep on talking while this is going on. But this will, a lot of the imagery from what I've seen is similar to the last game. Like they didn't change the style. They didn't change, which is good because you want to have a seamless transition in a game like this. I feel. But here, let me just get this rolling here. So this is in this part of the game is me just leaving a kind of like a scrapper city. And I'm kind of just like exploring.
Like, yeah, look at the water and then look at the trees. It's so clean. Even on PS4, like that's the word I would use to describe this game. Yeah. Clean. Because it just looks so amazing.
I mean, look at me run. This game is so engaging. I'm running. I'm like Tom Cruise. I'm running and running. So anyway, Block, I mean, playing the first game, obviously you do have some Horizon experience. There's me killing a boar. PETA, don't come at me. I don't know, Block. What are your thoughts? Well, like, what are your hopes and dreams for a sequel to the first one? And we can kind of let you know if you kind of got what you're looking for.
You can hear me fine, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I was just gonna basically say what I like about just kind of the franchise so far is like what Jose said so far, and like what you said, Bobby, about it being like clean and immersive, and like I went back. It's probably not a fair comparison because it's an older game, but like Black Flag, Assassin's Creed.
And the
thing that kind of takes you out of the game sometimes is just randomly the parkour will just stick and stuff, and that really takes you out of the game. And what I like about Horizon is I mean, I don't remember because it's been about a year since I played the first game. There wasn't a lot of parkour, but what you were doing with the environment, climbing and jumping, you never had that glitch. Like everything seemed kind of seamless. The graphics were good. Nothing kind of took you out of the experience.
I,
And the world was full of like you got here, the trees, animals. Like it's full of life. It's not just an open world, but like with a few trees, it's like rich.
I just want to jump in really quick and just say, by the way, did you guys see that glitch? I killed that boar and
Yep.
like went into the rock.
Hmm.
So as soon as we're talking about like a non-glitchy and a clean game,
Yeah.
I'm right here trying to like get to this boar
Yep.
that phased into this rock.
Yep. He like melted into the rock. Yeah.
So
It happens. At least it's not WWE 2K,
Yeah.
right.
Well, one glitch I did have, I don't know if you had it yet, Bobby, but like I went and killed a couple guys and then they were floating in midair. Like this was after I first started playing the game. And they were like just floating and rotating. I'm like, wow, okay. As beautiful
Well,
as it is, it does have its problems like here and there.
Well, and I
But
mean it's a big game.
Yeah.
I can
yeah.
forgive some glitchy
Yeah.
errors and stuff like that,
Mhm.
especially like when you just release it. I'm sure that if they'll release patch notes eventually.
Mhm.
Yeah, because there's a time later on where you can see that my wrist gauntlet is like floating way out from my body in
Yeah.
some sequences. So here's me trying to be like an art like trying to Arkham it and getting caught.
Stealthy. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I really like this game. Definitely has a much different feel to like Assassin's Creed or
Yeah.
like even like Ghost of Tsushima. Like there's a really like different feel, but from these
Mhm.
different games. So I really can't
But
appreciate it,
there's
and I
some
do like a
parallels,
lot of the
like, yeah.
lore. What was that, Block?
Mhm. I said there are some parallels, so that's the only reason I compared it earlier to
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. So,
Mhm.
but yeah.
So I mean, see, now I'm just sitting here watching my gameplay like a nerd.
Yeah.
Um,
It's nerd tube. This is what we do.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
We
I like how satisfying it is to take down all these robots. Like you take out, their things on their back and you hear it bust and I
Yep.
don't know, that's cool to just
It
slowly
I know
pick
gets
it
them
gives you
apart.
that kind of like that sensory input where you're like, yeah, well, listen to that son of a bitch break.
I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna end up eventually fighting one of the big motherfuckers, and when you take them out, that's when you're gonna be like, yes, I've accomplished something. Because that's when it's gonna be like, holy
Yep.
crap, I never thought I could take that thing down. Because in the first game, they've
Well,
got a
it's not a
couple of those that you take out,
yeah.
and they come back in this one, and then you're like, oh my god, I did it! Like I think I took down like the lockjaw or whatever that one's called.
Yeah.
The
So
the T-Rex in the first one is the big one, right?
Yeah.
um so DH from the first game to the second game, would you say that it was a very smooth transition, even though it was what 5 years apart,
Oh
or would
yeah.
you or would you say you noticed a different like because as I said, it's kind of like the Arkham games for me. Like there was such a smooth transition between Arkham Asylum and Arkham City that it was just it felt like a progression. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of tonal change. So would you say that maybe this is kind of the same level of transition?
Yeah, it feels like too, even though it's been 5 years, it's like at the same time, it feels like no time has passed, like since this came out, because it's like, holy crap, like the transition is so smooth. You can pick up and play this. See, you're running around, you're going around, you're like spearing people, you're doing your arrows, you're crafting. It's like everything they took from the first game, they've taken it and they put it here and they've made it better. And they've made this game, it seems like, more accessible for people too.
Yeah. I played a little bit of the first game. I think I played like an hour and a half of the first game because
Hmm.
my original plan is I was going to play the first game and then play the second one, and then Greek talked me into playing this one first because he's like, "Oh no, get the clickbait, man. Get the play the new game." And then
Yeah,
he's like,
get it while it's hot, kind of
yeah,
deal.
and I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like and I did watch like an hour-long refresher of the first game, and I still plan to play the first game. I really wanna play the first game.
Yeah.
Um, so I will play it probably after I finish with this, but, I was just wondering what that transition kinda seemed like, whether it was like a there wasn't too much of a shock between games because that's what I hate. I hate it when you have games that are like they're just like a huge difference between games. Even Assassin's Creed, like some games, like some games transition seamlessly, like Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. But then you go from like it almost feels like Brotherhood or Revelations kind of has a really and I get it. It was kind of a different style of game.
Yeah, and then you're
But
like, this one's all right, but it's not as good as like that last one that I played.
yeah, and Assassin's Creed 3, although I love Assassin's Creed 3, there it was definitely jarring going from like Brotherhood and Revelation into 3 because I didn't start playing Assassin's Creed until just before Black Flag came out. So I had access to 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelation, and 3 at the get go. So I started at 1 and I started playing, and like I felt like 1, 2, and Brotherhood were really seamlessly translated. As I said, and then it seemed like they got a little bit ahead of themselves in Revelation. I did like Revelation, but it did in the beginning. From just playing the last game just the day before, and then playing the next game, I really felt it was a bit jarring.
Yep.
And then 3 was just really, really jarring. So that's why I was like, from the first one to the second one, how did this one feel? So,
Yeah, and this one it's amazing. Like graphically, you could tell they stepped it up. It looks clean. It runs smooth. Yeah, there's going to be glitches, but gameplay wise, this is definitely one of those things too that you need to play if you're into crafting. If you're into sword slash like spear combat, this is something you got to get. And if you're into stealth, you're going to get that here too with trying to take these machines out.
yeah. So
Yeah, you just can't go hack and slash.
No, you can't go. You can't go walk up to a machine and think you're going to kill it right away. It doesn't always work like that.
Oh
'Cause you're
God,
gonna get caught.
in one of my later parts of this, I run up to like a horde of hippopotamus looking robots, and I beat them, but it
But you
took
get
me like
massacred almost in the process.
yeah, I did beat them, but it was I used up like a lot of my resources, and I like really was like playing hot potato. Like I was like yeah, they were those guys weren't playing around, and
Yeah,
they pretty much killed me like 1,000 times.
I think if we're gonna go like into like tips, don't think you can go straight up to a swarm of these things and take them all on at once because it's not going to work out well for you. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that now. It's like Bobby just said he used up most of his resources, and I can confirm that that happened to me as well. I was going up against a swarm of machines, and I got my ass kicked, but I came back and did the comeback, and I beat them all.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I just had luck on my side.
Yeah.
That's all that was. Like I was yeah. Um what would you say without spoiling, and if you can't do it without spoiling, that's fine. But like DH, what in this game, what would you say like one of your favorite returning I call them Dinobots because I don't know what to call them. Just what is like your favorite returning Dinobot in this game?
I'd have to say like these because these are so swarm and so like they're so swift and you have to really be careful when you try to kill them. But I also like the big dudes. I can't get those names either, but yeah, I cannot remember the names of the giant robots, but the really, really big guys, those dudes that are like 12 feet tall, and you have to like know how to shoot fire arrows and you have to know how to aim at the legs and take them out. I really like those too.
I have to say one of my least favorite from just playing so far is, and this isn't really spoiling anything, but the flying ones.
Oh, those are a pain, dude. Yeah, those are going to
Yep.
take some getting used to for you new guys. For those of you that are just now starting this one out.
And I believe they are in the first one, right? I thought I
Yes.
saw them, but I never really fought one
Yeah, the
in
pterodactyl.
my initial gameplay, like my hour and a half gameplay.
Yeah, the pterodactyls, as I call them, those are the toughest ones to take out because you want to go toe to toe with them with your spear, but a lot of times you can't do that. So it helps to craft as much arrows as you can, and then look for the sweet
Yep.
spots.
Um,
And use
so
your
I
traps
haven't
too.
really.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Block.
I was gonna say use your traps. That's the fun part of Horizon
Mm-hmm.
Dawn too. That you got your not just your stealth and your um, what would you call it, melee weapons and whatnot, but you got your traps, so you can kind of plan that way too.
Yep.
I wonder if I've used my traps for anything in this episode.
I I believe it or not, I made it through both games without using my trap caster. I never
Really?
once had to use it. Yeah, I never did on either game.
But it's so fun.
Yeah, like for some people, like you like seeing the dinosaurs that people walk over and then they blow up. That's
Yeah.
cool. But for me, I'm one of those dudes. Like I'm like, if I can run up to you and fight you, I'm going to fight you.
I like stabbing them from the bushes. I like the stealth assassin type.
At least you could say
So
we all have completely different play styles, though, because we all play differently.
but that's the fun part though, is that this game
Yep.
really gives
It's
you that
good.
option to play all three ways. It's not like
Yep.
I feel like one way is not better than the other, but it's just like, yeah, like I like sneaking around and
Yeah.
sneaking through the grass. Now you haven't seen that in this gameplay, but like when I get into new areas and stuff like that, and I see things, like I try to sneak up and I try to scan them, and then I wait for them to kind of walk by me, and then I start, then I at least destroy one of them before I have to, you know, before I have to engage the rest of them. But I like to get
Yep.
one of them out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, the person in the comments in my video here, that's Boss Man.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
And the comments on the gameplay.
Yeah.
So okay, so how did DH? How do you feel like this game? With again, without spoiling, but how do you feel that this game progressed the story of this world? Like is this like a has this progressed the story enough, you feel like, or was this just like an adventure to the west and it was kind of just, just like the next step? Like,
I feel like Block said, like we were talking earlier before we came on air. I think he said that it's going to be a trilogy, and that's where I feel like we're going. Like in the first game, Aloy wants to find out, like, okay, why am I here? Why do I exist? And then in this game, it's like, okay, now what? What's my next step? What do I want to do? And I'm not going to give anything away, but that's what Aloy's quest is like, how do I, do such and such? And it makes you wonder what the third game is going to be like.
yeah, and it makes you wonder where you're gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the I don't did they mention the ship in the first game?
Yeah, they mentioned that, and that's
Okay, I
in
didn't.
this one.
I haven't gotten anywhere, so this might be something in this game. I don't know, but like in the beginning of this game, they mention about a spaceship that either was sent out or was still in orbit, and
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like that should be something that they discuss. Now, whether they do it in this game and we just don't, I don't just know it yet, or whether it's something that maybe will be involved in the third game. But I want to see Aloy in space.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that I just be like, even if it's not like the whole game, but like Aloy in space would just kind of be like, it'd be like the Fast and the Furious franchise, like, when they
Mm-hmm.
go to space, everyone keeps joking about it, but
Yeah, why not?
so all right, well, we can take this gameplay down from here. So the battle system, I mean, we talked a little bit about that. So there are the three ways of fighting. There's the stealth approach. There's the utilities approach, which is like the
The trap
traps
caster.
approach,
Yeah.
and then there's just the brutally destroy them all approach.
And
So
there's no wrong way you can play this because no matter what your play style is, it's going to have something for everybody. Like if you want to beat the game stealthily, for the most part, you can do that. If you want to go through and set traps and try to take out as many people as you can with traps, you can also do that. Or if you want to be like me and just wreck everyone and get on, you could do that as well. So you're going to have something for everybody.
yeah, I don't know. What's your DH? What was your favorite weapon in this game to
The
use?
spear. The
Just
spear.
using just the spear.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I like just going through just like slashing people and like
Yeah.
slashing the robots and then like seeing them break.
Yeah, I'm more of a bow and arrow kind. Like I don't like just running up and slide. I mean, as you can see, like I try to like sneak around and all that other stuff. And I mean, I'll use a spear obviously to kill them from like the bushes. But if I can, I will try to get like the high ground and like just start hitting them with the arrows.
Yep.
So and sometimes you can't even do that because they throw shit at you.
No, I mean, yeah, with the arrows, you have to be really, really precise.
Yeah.
Because in the first game, I kind of did a little bit of like what you did, where I used more of the bow and arrow, and I like that approach because I like that you can craft fire arrows, and it really, really helps. So yeah, I mean, you can always mix and match too if all else fails. If you guys want to get into that kind of thing.
Yeah. So now, DH, you're from the Colorado area, and this game, at least the first game, parts of it is based in Denver,
Is in Colorado, yeah.
is in Colorado. So I know that it's not to scale. I know the game's not to scale and everything like that. But like, did you ever feel playing that first game like you were like it was an accurate depiction of a post-apocalyptic like Denver area, like or
I don't think I got that because to me it just felt like a post-apocalyptic world. Like you couldn't even tell that you were in Colorado. That's how messed up it was.
oh
But
He's like, I can see my house from here.
Yeah.
well, I wasn't saying that.
But like there is like our stadium, Mile High Stadium. You pass by that, and then you're like, "Holy crap, that's Mile High Stadium!" And then I'm like, "Okay, so in that sense, I got it." But other than that, I'm like, okay, I can't really tell like if I'm in Colorado or Utah or Wyoming.
Were they very like? Did they try to lean into that a little bit more when you get like? Because I know that you get to like L.A. or San Francisco or one of those two, you actually get to. Do they lean into that anymore in this game? Like you see a lot of old world references. Like I know that they do the Golden Gate Bridge, right? But
Yeah. And they mentioned like Las Vegas and stuff like that. So yeah, you'll get like little bits and pieces here and there, but they're not going to go overboard with like mentioning, oh, this is California, or oh, this is Las Vegas, or oh, this is such and such, as far as location goes.
Block, what was in the first game? What was your least favorite Dinobot to fight?
To fight, I guess I guess they were like mountain lion cougar things. I guess because they just weren't that exciting. I mean, the first one was kind of terrifying because you're like, oh, I'm not equipped for this. But then like they just weren't as cool of an enemy as I thought they would be. I preferred even those little raptors over them, like the first bad guys you encounter, the little jumpy things.
Yeah, the little
even those were a
ones.
little more exciting in packs.
Yeah.
In packs they were pretty exciting to take
on. So just I mean, okay, so overall, I mean, DH, I don't know if you said it on stream yet or not, but you did give this game. You were saying about a 9.
I'm going to give it a 9. Yeah, but before we before we get into like our rating and whatnot, what did we not like about this game? Like, was there anything so far that we don't like about it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I like Aloy.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I am a big proponent of we don't have enough good female protagonists in games. That's why in Assassin's Creed Valhalla I played Eivor as a woman because I want a good like you know how like some people are like kind of weird and they play as a girl because they want to do like the sexy stuff.
Yeah.
I just want a badass good female protagonist. And even in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Eivor kind of had to share that with the guy because you could be a guy or a girl in that game. So it's like in this game, it's like, no, you can't be a guy. Like you are a female protagonist and she is badass.
And here's the thing, like Aloy takes no crap. That's the thing that's established about both the games. Like Aloy is a badass. She does not mess around. She will not play. She's like, I'm going to tell you what's on my mind, and I don't care if you want to hear it. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And she could be sympathetic. She could be a hard ass, or she's just going to tell it like it is. And that's what I love about Aloy. And also, I have to give credit to the voice acting. So far, I really enjoyed the voice acting in Forbidden West, as well as the first game.
Yeah. I know you were like, hey, let's talk about what we don't like. And then we started talking more about what we like.
I mean, it's hard to have a negative with it. I mean, yeah, the glitches, and sometimes when you're climbing things, sometimes when you're climbing things, Aloy's not going to go where you want her to go. I've had that happen to me. But beyond that, I'm like, this is not a bad game.
I really no, and I mean so far out of the 10 hours I've played so far, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's a very good expansive game. I just hate the damn birds, man. Those things are
Yeah.
annoying as fuck.
Yeah, the birds are probably the only negative I'd have to say about the game. I don't like fighting those, and thankfully they don't overload the game with those.
Yeah, I would say, or just make a weapon that is more, and you not bow and arrow, like make something that's more geared, like something that Aloy finds that's more geared towards fighting flying creatures rather than your bow and arrow, like some kind of like sonic ray or something that kind of gives a little bit of splash damage,
Yeah.
that kind of, so you don't have to like try to while they're flying at you, you have to try to aim and shoot your bow and arrow, like
Yep.
I feel like the more you if they had something that had a little bit more spread to it, it might help a little bit.
But I'm going to go ahead and give my final rating now and say it's a 9. On my rating scale, this is a go out and get it now. If you are an action adventure type of gamer, you owe it to yourself to pick this one up. And the first game is probably maybe $10 right now at most places. And it's pretty cheap on the PSN store too.
Yeah, I really can't wait to play I really do. Like after I finished playing the second one, which I know I watched like an hour-long explainer of the first game.
Even so, yeah, the first game's worth it too.
As I say, I probably will go and play the first game as soon as I am done with Forbidden West, because I'm really enjoying like the lore that I'm seeing so far. I'm enjoying the character. Aloy is amazing. I love her.
The voice acting is incredible. Yeah, the story's amazing.
Even the side characters seem like they're very. I love the one dude with like the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, he's like I haven't gotten all their names down yet, but that dude, like he's just absolutely hilarious. I love him. I'm like that guy. That guy's cool. I don't know, Block. What are you thinking about everything we've said and everything like that? Like, what are your? Are you going to run out and buy it now? Like DH said, he ordered you to do it. So
yeah, well, I'm going to body slam you.
I already got it. I just have to play
good.
it.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
okay. You have it. Awesome.
Okay, good. Now I don't have to body slam you.
Yeah.
All of you must buy it, or I'm going to body slam you.
that is a D Jose 101 promise.
Okay, but Cheeto, we're going to leave this with you, dude. Like, what's your overall final rating and of like so far that you've played?
I mean, so far that I've played, I would also give it a 9 out of 10. As I said, I've been engaged the whole time. It gives you just enough that you want to, like the one thing I will take away from Assassin's Creed Valhalla is that there was a fuck ton of shit to do. And like, I like that, but at the same time, like this game felt like it's found a little bit more of a balance between a lot like side quests and like, main plot. Because with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I played that game for I think like 170 hours before I actually beat it, and I still had a butt ton of stuff on the map to get. Like I was kind of hoofing it through the story.
Yep.
I don't mind a long story like that, but when you have like so much stuff, like all this stuff laying around on the map, it's almost like it gets to be a bit tedious. And with this game, I feel like so far from what I've seen, they actually have it spaced out and distributed enough where it's like you get to travel some distance, but at the same time, everything's not on top of one another. And
I'm also going to make another tip too. Use the advantage of the fast travel points for those of you that don't like to go long distance, because sometimes people won't. Like there's going to be times you're going to go like 4,000 meters away, and it's like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I could either hitch a ride or I could fast travel to a campfire point. Make advantage of the fast travel campfire points.
And I mean, they do have the fast travel packs, which so far in the game that I've seen, the fast travel packs. Oh, Block, don't tell your doggy to go away. You have to love on your puppy.
He's not gonna go away. He's just gonna go the other way.
But no, I use the fast travel packs whenever it's something that's pretty like far away. Like there was one time I was in Forbidden West, but you have the opportunity, but there's a side quest that you have to do once you get in there, and then you have to go back to one of the previous cities to do it. And I'm like, it was a while back, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna and fast travel packs are relatively cheap if I remember, and they don't cost a lot of scraps or chips, whatever. Oh, I don't remember what the currency's called.
Shards.
That's it. Yeah.
And for those of you that like care about length, like if you're going to be just a main story kind of guy or girl, you could beat this game in about 15 hours, depending on like give or take, with time and everything. You could beat it in about 15 hours or so, but it's worth going back to replay once they patch in a new game plus mode, because eventually it's going to happen.
Yeah, so there's not a game plus mode.
Plus the DLC or whatever they did.
Oh yeah, and DLC if they come out with DLC, which I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, do we have anything else more to add?
No, go out and get this now. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I was going to ask about the upgrade system, but it seems pretty basic. I mean, get supplies and upgrade your stuff. And
okay, yeah, we could touch on that before we go. The upgrade system is pretty simple. Like, upgrade your medicine pouches. You can upgrade your ammo capacity, all that kind of stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing, yeah, you will get that in this game. Like, you can craft, I'm not sure how many maximum of arrows you can craft, but you can do that. You can craft health potions. You can upgrade your outfits, which is cool. And outfits will actually give you, benefits towards stuff like, if you put this outfit on, you get like extra, quiet ability, extra stealth ability, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's something for everybody.
Is it now? I haven't played the first game, so Block and DH. Would you say that it's a upgrade from the previous game, or is it kind of a little bit the same?
I'll let Block go first.
Well, he hasn't seen the new one, I guess.
Since I haven't got to, yeah. Well, that's okay. I mean, like from what I watched and stuff. As far as like I noticed some graphic upgrades and like the things you acquire in the game. There's some upgrades as far as how you traverse around the world and such. But I'd just say both games are good. Like you guys kind of said, 9 out of 10. I think they just kind of took the first one, tweaked it, and obviously not improved on, but took the story and went a little more with it from what I'm seeing, and just kind of built upon the foundation they already had. So I guess
I got an idea.
Kind of had an easy job.
Okay, I think I got an idea for a follow-up video. When you guys are done, we're going to come back with this. When you guys are done with the game, we're going to come back and talk about what we want for a third game, because that would be cool. After you guys like beat this
space,
to see what they would do with
Aloy in space.
Yeah, but once you guys beat it, I think we got to revisit this review and we got to like talk about it. Like we got to do a follow up on like, oh okay, like time has passed. What do we now think about the game?
I think we should do like
why is Megatron in this?
Yeah, Megatron. I think we should do what Ubisoft does and just send everybody to London. Aloy's gonna travel to London.
Why not? Like, let's go overseas.
Well, technically, if she's in LA
still even
right
get a
now,
British accent.
Technically they could probably. I mean, could you imagine that going across the Pacific Ocean? But
that
I mean,
would
like,
be a game.
Yeah, like have it in like Hong Kong or like Australia. Oh my God, can you imagine Australia?
Oh my God, yeah, that'd be dope.
That dingo ate me.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Aloy.
They got to do that. They got to go to Australia.
Yeah, they have to go to Australia.
Anybody watching this, we have to write them. We have to. I don't remember what the company that did this was, but
Guerrilla Games. You got to write Guerrilla Games.
We got to write them, and we got to say next game.
Go to Australia. Yep.
Hello, Aloy.
You got like a kangaroo dinosaur or a kangaroo bot running around.
Dude, that's the game right there. Yep. The third game, you just go to Australia and you just fight a bunch of kangaroo bots and you hear them talk to you. And then you hear people talk to you.
Because like every animal in Australia is dangerous anyway.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap
Giant
this
koala
up.
Bears.
Yep.
Giant koala bear.
That's the final boss of the game. Yep.
There's a fucking giant koala bear. Oh no. Yep. Guys, we can't make this shit up. We should work for Gorilla.
Yeah, we should apply for Gorilla.
We should be like, look, we got an idea for a game, but you got to hire us first.
Yep.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I'm glad that we me and you, DH, have enjoyed the game so far. Block, I hope we've excited you enough to get off of here and run and turn on your PlayStation or whatever you play on and start gaming the fuck out of it. But with that all being said, DH, thank you very much for joining me. Block, thank you very much for joining me. And guys, go check out Horizon Forbidden West. It is definitely worth your time, in my opinion, and in our in our other guys' opinions over here. Yeah, these guys.
Yep.
If you can, shameless self plug, I have a gaming channel called Milquetoast Gaming. I am playing Horizon Forbidden West as well as other retro games, and my girlfriend plays some Tomb Raider over there. So go and check that out, guys. You have anything else to plug?
No, just subscribe to NerdTube, like, share, tell all your friends about us. We're the greatest YouTube channel that you've never heard of, although we are climbing. So thank you guys for the 2K subs and counting.
Yeah,
we really
almost
appreciate
2.5, I think, at this point. So
yeah.
So everybody, thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Catch you later.